Hello and welcome to another episode of Fit Life Journeys. This is the podcast where we talk about the truth surrounding living a fit and healthy lifestyle and break down some of those myths and the BS that you hear on the internet and all those well-meaning people. They might be well-meaning, they might not. So we do this by bringing in real people to talk about their stories and what it takes for them to live a fit and healthy life. Today's guest, we've got with me the fantastic Katie Fox. She's been a member of Fit Life Gym since January of 2020, which there's something interesting that happened not long after she joined. But we're going to talk today about her journey and some of the successes she has achieved, but also really dig into what she wants people to know about the hard work that goes into that success. Because she thinks for some people they might be missing something that could really help them out. So first, I want to talk to you about your journey. I never knew you before you joined Fit Life Gym. I don't really still know anything about your life before. So I'm curious about, was this the first time you had tried losing weight? What was your previous experience with either attempting to eat a different way or maybe not? I don't know where you were at, but
So I was never heavy, never skinny. I was in that athletic realm.
Okay.
And I got pregnant with my daughter and I gained 80 pounds.
Wow.
And so since being pregnant with my daughter, it's been an uphill battle the entire time.
Okay. How old's your daughter?
She is 14.
Okay.
Just 14 at the end of May.
Hey, I'm 42 and I'm 41 and my mom still blames me on her weight, so.
The hormones are stupid. Yeah, it's stupid. But I did do things here and there. I would try, this workout regime, whatever. I did the Planet Fitness thing. I did have success in 2014. Was the first time I successfully lost some weight. But I don't think at that time I was ready for an overhaul.
Okay.
I think it was very in the moment. And it was once I had lost weight, I got to a certain weight and I was like, oh, I'm good. And I stopped.
Let me kind of break this down. So you, before having your daughter, you had never really had any issues with weight.
Nope.
After having your daughter, so you gained 80 pounds and it didn't come off.
Yes.
So you were in a position where you didn't have any skills, skills or knowledge from previous, because you'd never had to.
I was athletic.
Mm-hmm.
I when I was younger, I played soccer. I danced. Tried all the sports.
Mm-hmm.
I did track for a few years. So I had that, but as an adult, to get into those sorts of things is, especially for a woman, my baby brother still plays soccer.
Right.
I don't, because to get into I have at least I haven't found any.
Mm-hmm.
Women's only leagues or even co-ed leagues are very difficult to get into. So it's I don't have that. I don't have exercise as something that I know. I know sports.
Yeah. I don't want to go play soccer with the people who used to play it in Division I college.
Right.
That's not the team I want to be
That
on.
was also incredibly intimidating. And again, most of the leagues that I could have gotten into were co-ed and I didn't.
Yeah.
My brother's 5 years younger than me. So if it was with him, I'm you guys are babies, 5 years,
right.
was pretty significant. Especially after I've had kids, my daughter was born, he was 17. So it was a very
different world, different,
way different.
Yeah. It's funny because when we lived in Chicago, Josh used to love playing ultimate frisbee.
Yeah.
And he tried to find a league when he came here, and it was a bunch of college kids, and he was mid-30s. Yeah. He's so that was weird.
Yeah. I think either you find a core group of people that you already know that do it, or you're playing with people that are probably out of your league. And that's how I felt about it. But so no, I didn't have any specific exercise. I just knew how to play sports. That's it.
Gotcha.
So it was difficult, and I for a period of time got sucked into the here's this video, here's that video, the working out at home, which was great for a little while. I had a baby at home, so it was like, okay, I can work out at home, but it was really, really, really easy to not do it. So.
Yeah, definitely easier not to do it than to try and do it with a baby around. But so 2014, you said you had a little success.
Yeah, so I was doing like the videos and eating better, but I didn't know a lot about what I should be eating. I think my idea of eating better was only just changing to cooking at home more. That was like, which is great, but it's not the whole story. And so, I hit like a weight that I was like, oh, I'm good right here. And then just went right back to the lifestyle I was leading before it, and it all came back on plus some.
That was, I think, my first foray into weight loss as well, was like, oh, great, I can have a pizza again. And then it just all like...
Exactly. Yeah, it gets that easy. Like, oh, it's no big deal. And I think, like, knowing stuff now, it wasn't a big deal. To have that one time.
Mm-hmm.
It is a big deal to completely indulge myself as I was doing at that time. Like, and the funny thing is every time I've lost weight, it comes back on plus some.
Yes.
Which is insane.
Well, that's biology.
Yeah.
Anatomy.
So much
stuff.
fun.
Fun things about how your body works.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, no, so this was the first time I found something that worked for me. I had started working from home in 2018, end of 2018.
Okay.
And I know that everybody's like, oh, you work from home, that's so great. And it is. It's really flexible. It's nice. However, I was used to being a very social person. So
okay.
I went through a very, very hard year where I stopped leaving the house entirely. Didn't see people, didn't go anywhere, and got to the heaviest that it ever been, including pregnancies.
Okay.
So...
yeah, just seeing your face around here, you definitely don't seem like a person who would be thriving all by herself.
I'm not. No, I mean, I've worked it out now, but it was difficult. It was extremely difficult.
And that's one of the things that I kind of love about this place. I feel like it's, I don't know, a way to find people for grown-ups. Yes. Because for the life of me, ever since I left school and have been an adult and have to make friends on my own, it's awful.
It's terrible.
Making friends as an adult is the worst.
Yes. I think as adults we find that we have very specific interests.
Yeah.
And I think it's harder to feed into BS, other people's BS, and it's for me, I think it's I want to make friends, but you need to have a certain amount in common with this person, I find myself to be valuable at this point and don't want to settle.
I love that. I mean, for me, I think it's more of, I actually would love to spend my entire year at home going nowhere.
Yeah.
That's very difficult to make friends because
it is.
There's no one coming over unless they're already my friends, right?
Right.
So, I used to pick up friends in school, in the classroom, complaining about the professor. That's how I made all my friends.
Exactly. Yeah. Something in common.
Yeah.
You got the same BS.
I made a wonderful friend in theology class because she was a atheist.
Nice.
And I am not an atheist, but I'm a little bit of a skeptic.
Sure.
So we had some rather hysterical conversations.
See, and that makes it fun. It makes it challenging.
I think she wrote a paper. Oh yeah, the 10 Commandments and other things that fell from the sky, and just all this random.
Love it.
Yeah.
My brother's an atheist, so I've had those conversations.
You know how much fun it can be. You can really dig. I was gonna write a paper about Jesus being schizophrenic, but the amount of research I was gonna go into, I ended up not, because I like to party way too much in school too.
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. You have to read a book. I have a book recommendation.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't take long to connect the dots with the idea of Jesus being schizophrenic. All you have to do is study psychology, and it's check off the boxes, and we're oh, okay. Just saying. I know this is not. Somebody tuned into this. What?
What happened?
Never mind. We'll get back to Katie. We'll get back to Katie's journey, which I love. I love Katie's journey because it's always exciting to see people get results, and also you're so nice anyway, so it's good.
My husband wouldn't say that.
I like it when good things happen to good people.
It's worked out nicely.
He can't dislike you too much.
No.
If he
just depends on the day.
I would say if he does, we'll stop this right now. Edit this part out.
My son doesn't like me right now. My daughter might like me. It's a daily thing. You know?
How old's your son?
10.
He should still like you. It should be a couple more years before
he
stops.
Like me specifically today.
Oh, specifically today.
Grounded.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I was grounded a lot at 10.
Yeah.
But so the other thing about making friends as an adult, stay-at-home moms like to come here because, oh my God, adult, right?
And that's essentially like how I felt too. Like, the kids went to school, but when they were home, I was just home with them, you know, and like I love them so much, but it's so hard to do nothing else besides parent. Mm-hmm. And so like, I think like coming here and having that breakup of my day, like, oh my gosh, it seriously, it changes how my day goes entirely, which is exactly what I needed.
Yeah.
But it took me, it took me a while to actually like do it. Mm-hmm. Like I was given a 30-day pass and it was, well, it's going to expire. You need to get in there. You need to get in there. And I'm like, I don't know. I was given one, or no, my cousin had asked me if I wanted one prior. Mm. And I was like, nope. And because I just wasn't even nowhere near the right headspace. And then finally it was like, you're going here, take this. And then it was like, get your ass in there. Do it now. Do it now. Do it now. And then it took once.
You did want it. You just didn't know it.
I didn't know it. But it took one time. It took one time coming in that I was like, shit, I need this. Like, I really need this. So,
And see, not a parent, so I get myself in trouble a lot in these conversations.
Right.
But I can't imagine that just being a parent is good for you.
See, and that's like, I have the utmost respect for stay-at-home moms because I knew very early on it was not something that I could do.
Yeah.
Like, I needed to be away from my kids, and I joke with them now. I'm like, because, I'm talking to them about going back to school, and I'm like, they're like, you just don't want us here. And I was like, well, I'd really love to miss you. Like, I want to miss you sometimes, and because it gets like so grating. And I'm sure at that point they don't want to be around me either, like after so much time together, it's like all they've seen is me, like for so many days, like it's not healthy for any of us.
There's a level of needing your mom or thinking that your mom is there just for you that I don't think I understood until I was like 35 or was my mom my mom was 31 when she had me. Yeah. She had my brothers at like 21. Yeah. Once I started getting into my 30s and I realized like I was still out drinking and partying and having fun or like how hard it was for me to feel like an adult and take care of things, and I was just like, my poor mother. I thought she was like such an old person who had nothing to do and wanted nothing more from life than to take care of me.
Yeah, not so much. And I mean, again, like it's great. Like I love being a mom and all that comes with it. But it's hard for it to be your entire identity. And that is actually something like I seriously worried about, like becoming a parent, because my parents, they don't have social lives now. Like we're gone out of the house, done raising our, I'm raising a family and my brothers are, either out of state or doing their own thing. And they don't have social lives because they didn't when we were growing up.
Right. And
that terrified me. I just didn't want to wake up when the kids are gone and go, oh my gosh, what do I do with myself? Like, and I don't want to do that. Yeah. So like this is part of that, and like different activities I do to get out of the house is all part of that.
Yeah. And the other thing, like, I don't know a single mom who comes here and takes care of herself who doesn't say, this makes me a better mom. Or, like, I have more energy for them. I'm nicer to them.
Yes.
Like, even with the younger, the ones with the younger kids, they can play with them better. They're setting a good example, whatever. So, like, can you see, like, how you think this makes you a better mom?
Yeah, 100%. Because I get to get out of the house. So for me, that's a huge deal, because the nature of my work too is that I don't talk to anybody.
Okay.
There could be a whole week where I do not talk to another individual. Like, I mean, meetings get canceled, like whatever. The nature of my work, I do reporting. So I'm very, very just in my own space. So the fact that I get to, get up from there, refresh my mind at that point coming here, and then go back to it. I think that them seeing me like getting out of the house, I think also encourages them to do so too. And especially like the space that we've been in, like my daughter's had a very hard time like socially.
Okay.
Since COVID. I kept them home for a long time. And so her seeing me be social, like this is me seeing other people,
Okay.
Like that's why like the group activity stuff, and like she's actually before COVID, was it before? I don't know. At some point she came, must have been before COVID, but she came with me one morning. So she got to like see it and like the camaraderie, and she's like, that's a lot, Mom. My, like son sees me and he wants to be more active. Like, oh, what can I do to, and like.
That's cool.
Yeah. And then the biggest thing across the board for my husband and the kids is nutrition.
Okay.
Like that has totally changed from, before I started the gym.
So their nutrition has changed as well as yours?
I do. My husband doesn't cook.
Okay.
So he's at the mercy of what I cook.
And they eat what you cook?
Uh-huh.
And you don't have to make 4 separate meals for everyone?
I do accommodate on occasion. I do. Like, there's small concessions that I
think you're going to have to give lessons to some of our other moms.
No. Like, my son does not eat rice and doesn't like noodles, texture thing, whatever. Like, there are concessions that I make to them, but overall, we eat better. We eat so much better. And I'm not saying we never get, like, pizza or anything like that, but, like, I make sure that, like, we're all having pretty nutritious meals.
Mm-hmm. And then my guess is that you've learned a little bit about how to fit pizza into your life better.
Of course. Of course. You have to.
Right?
I'm not going to not eat pizza. I'm just not going to eat it every day.
It doesn't work really well if you try to give up something you like.
And I think
forever.
and I think that was like a huge component of why nothing worked for me before. Nothing did. And sometimes I think that like you have to hit like a low, and be retrospective of like, oh, all of these times did not work for me. Nothing, like I watched this happen and this happen over these years, and nothing worked. So I mean, like when I started here, my daughter was 11, would have been turning 12 that year, but like, so this was 11 years of me just doing this up and down, weight all over the place, diet all over the place, no consistency.
So something has to change in you mentally. I would love to say that, oh, you just found the right place and everything worked, but like something has to change in you mentally.
It does. I think, for me, I think it was me recognizing how like low of a space that I was at, what I was doing to myself, and how I felt. And it was like the combination of all of those things. It made me look really hard and kind of get like upset with myself about all of the things that I was like doing. I was doing horrible things to myself. Like I was not treating myself very nice.
Right.
And I didn't want to live like that anymore. And I saw how it was affecting my family. Like I saw that, my husband's weight was really high. Like my kids were not happy. I felt like we were arguing a lot as a family. Like,
well, that was one thing because I said, I see you as this like happy, bubbly personality.
Yeah.
Were you that
way? Because I didn't have anything else. Like I was like very just introverted at that time. Like I couldn't see outside of myself. And it affected everything. But I mean, I was not pleasant to be around. I knew that. I knew that I wasn't patient with kids. But I was just deeply, deeply unhappy. And for no reason, there wasn't this one, I mean.
Right. It's not like it's not like there was some big cause. It was.
Yeah. Probably, being a woman and just navigating life. Hitting a breaking point. I don't know.
And this is kind of what we're going to get to. Is navigating life is harder than we think it should be.
Oh my God, yeah.
Because we are all here navigating life. So we think, we have to do it. Everybody's doing it. It must be easy. And I think that people feel the same way about nutrition or weight loss sometimes. Yeah. Right? We're like, oh, well, so-and-so goes to the gym by themselves, so why should I have to work with a trainer? Or,
right.
So-and-so eats healthy.
Yeah.
Why do I need to study this or work with a coach or whatever? They see there are people who can do it
absolutely
on their own or whatever.
Yourself.
Right.
You have to know, I loved, we were doing, PN coaches, or PN coaching, the 5 whys,
yeah.
I love that, and maybe, not necessarily getting into all 5, but, at least, coming up with a reason, where are you at, what do you want to do? And I think that was a big thing for me. I looked at the relationships that I was building, or lack thereof, the health of my family, and that was it. That was my why. It was right there. It was this isn't a life you're leading, and you're just bringing 3 other people down with you. I'm sure the dog wasn't happy either.
I don't know. Dogs are.
She was probably, because we were walking her probably. I don't remember at the time, but so yeah, I'm sure everybody was miserable.
So I do have to ask before I get into the main topic that I want to talk about, because you started in January of 2020.
Yeah.
And so in the middle of March of 2020, we had to shut the gym down for 2.5 months.
Yeah.
How on earth do you stay motivated and consistent with something that's so new to you?
I think it was kind of based on all those reasons. I mean, I had this why. I came in and fell deeply in love with how things went here. The whole program, just it changed. It sparked something in me.
Okay.
And the camaraderie, I think, is the biggest part of that. And when we shut down and we were at home, a lot of people ask me how did you do that? I couldn't do it after a while. I couldn't do these virtuals after a while. And blah, blah. It was literally the only time I had to myself.
Okay.
That was it. I would close, because I had everything set up in my office. I would close my office door and I would do those virtuals.
Yeah.
And that was my time to myself.
For me, even as an introvert, I needed to see people.
Yes.
Even if it was on a screen. I needed to see someone other than my husband occasionally.
Yes.
Yes.
That was, and that's part of the camaraderie here is it was still there in those virtuals.
Yeah.
When we had so many people on and and it was it still felt like being here.
So let me ask you another question, and this one's kind of tough for me, but so you liked what we were doing. Yeah. Obviously, so much has changed since then. Things were forced on us because of COVID or whatever. A lot of people didn't like the changes or couldn't get into certain other ways we were doing things, whatever. Why do you still like it?
I honestly, for me, it's very environmental.
Mm-hmm.
The workouts are still challenging to me because I think we switched them up enough that I'm still building muscle. I'm still training well. But the environment, I think, is what really drives me to it. You know, I mean, you don't get this kind of support other places. Nobody gives a shit. You know, like, I mean, really, like, I've had memberships to the NAT. I've had memberships to Planet Fitness. I've done, you know, those Jillian Michaels workouts.
Yes.
I've done, you know, all these things. You don't have the kind of support you have here. The fact that, like, if I wasn't showing up on a day that I told somebody I was going to be here, I was getting messages, and not from one person, from multiple people. I did it for somebody the other day. I was like, see you tomorrow. And she's like, honestly, the only reason I came in was because I knew I told you I was. I was like, exactly. Yeah. I would have given you shit for it because that's what we're here for, you know, right.
And those other people, like, that person, I'm assuming, also has a why. They have a reason they're doing this. So they can moan a little bit about, I only came because I knew you wanted, you would say something.
Why? But it was a good workout. Right. And afterwards we talk about that. You know, she's like, oh my gosh, that was, you know, like, and that's the thing. Like, we all end up leaving here. Nobody's upset that we just worked out.
Right. No, it's like, it's tough. And this is why I think, so you have to have a why.
Yeah.
And you have to actually like what you're doing.
Oh, 100%.
If somebody doesn't like this, they should go find something else.
Oh, absolutely.
You have to have that combination of a real important reason, but also enjoy what you're doing.
And that's like it's a weird combination for me too, because like I never wanted to go to the gym with someone.
Okay.
If that makes sense. Like, I didn't want to have that, like, girlfriend of mine that I'm like, oh my gosh, let's go to the gym. Let's go this day, this day, this day.
Yeah.
Because what if they don't go? Then do I not go?
Well, I was going to say the perfect thing about here is you have other girlfriends if that one doesn't show up.
That's what I'm saying. Like, so I love the group setting. I like working out with other people, but I'm not relying on other people to dictate how, when.
One thing that is sometimes sad for me is, like, people will come in pairs, and if they stay isolated, and one of them slips, the other one will sometimes.
And that's
a lot of times slip too. Like, and that is heartbreaking.
For me, it's so huge for me, and I think it should be very important to other people to not, like, yes, we are a community and we're so supportive, but you cannot rely on somebody else for this. You can't, because the second that you rely on somebody else for this, you will be let down. Like, in some way, you will miss a workout that you wanted to do. You will go do this thing that you didn't want to do, or eat this thing that you didn't want to because this person did. You know, when it has to solely be about you. So that's why I never come with anybody. Like, there was times when I would be like, oh, I'm going at this time. You want to join? Cool. But, like, I already made the plan to do so.
Right.
Like, happy to meet you there.
So I think this might be lesson number 1 of the Katie Fox Success Guide is don't rely, like
do it for you.
Yeah, do it for you. Do it regardless of, like, it's nice when your friends join you.
Absolutely.
But make sure you're doing it regardless of if they show up.
Yes. You have to do it for you. That's it. Yeah.
And this is why, like, I always, like, encourage people, make new friends. Like, make more friends. Yeah. Get comfortable with the coaches, because if nothing else, like, you got that, you know, there's going to be a coach there that'll probably be wanting to talk to you.
Of course. Yeah.
They like
you. They like you. Yeah.
They like talking. There's nothing worse for a coach than, like, showing up and nobody wants to talk to them.
Exactly. I mean, like, it's so important to me to, like, be able to come in and talk to people. I talk to everybody here. Like, I don't discriminate. Yeah.
That makes me happy.
Yeah. If anybody's going to talk to me, I'm not one to just shut up. I mean, in fact, I've been told to shut up and still continue.
Perfect. Shy people, show up when Katie Fox was here. You will make a friend.
Got you.
Because that's sometimes what is hard, and I've seen it before, like, real introverts, like, standing in the corner looking at everybody else talking to each other, going, like, you can tell. There's, like, I have no idea how to approach you, but I wish I could. Yeah. Like, that's
and all it takes is literally for somebody to say, like, one quick thing, and I'm like, hooked, gotcha. I'm happy to talk to everybody.
Love it.
Yeah. Because we're all in this together. I mean, like, that's the thing. And, like, that's how I was greeted when I, you know, first came to the gym. I was so nervous and, oh, God, this is so intimidating and everybody knows what they're doing. I don't. And I had people that gave a shit that I was coming.
Yeah. No, did you come with your cousins when you first started? No, you
Nope.
went straight to I'm
Yeah.
going to the session that works for me. I
Yeah,
don't care when
I
you guys
had
are coming.
to. So they were going in the morning, the 6:15 class, and with the kids' schedule and all that, I couldn't do it. Like,
Okay.
mid mornings worked for me, and yeah, so I never came with anybody again. Like we would, like on Saturdays, it was like like I would be like, oh hey, well, like is there a time that works better for everybody? But either way, like I already had the plan to go when I was doing my Saturdays.
So you're making sure number one's taken care of.
I don't like that's the thing. Like I think as we get older, like I mean, no offense, men, but like especially women, like I think we just take on so much that's about everyone else.
Yes.
And so I think when it comes to like our health or fitness, we have to be selfish. I mean,
yes. There's a whole thing actually in the certification I'm taking right now on emotional labor.
Yeah.
And women take on, of course, the vast majority of emotional labor.
Yeah, we do.
So,
and because I know what I do for other people, like,
yeah.
and it's not just my immediate family. It outsources itself. But so yeah, this has to be something that you are selfish about. Like you want this for you, like, and yeah, like it might be really cool to be really strong for somebody else,
mm-hmm.
or look good for somebody else, but look good for you.
Yeah, definitely.
Take care of you. That's all. Like that's the best advice I could give up.
Although I do wish more people felt better about the way they looked, regardless. Like it's tough.
But that's a whole thing.
Yeah.
I'm going through that right now, to be honest with you. Like I'm trying to retrain my brain right now. Because I have babies, so I have a certain stomach that's not ever going to be this cute little flat thing. Like I got skin there, I got and like my skin isn't great. I had this and that. Like I could literally like give me a whole notebook. I'll fill it up with all the things I don't like about myself. So I'm
We're gonna go the other way.
Well, no, I'm currently really, really working on loving me.
Okay.
Like, and not just like I do love me, but like loving all of me. The stuff that I will complain about, like the stuff that I'm like, I don't like that. I don't like that. But like, there's a reason that I'm this person. There's a reason I'm in this body. Like, I'm good with. Like, I just need to be good with it.
Okay.
So it's a journey. That's my next journey. So working.
That's a tough journey.
It is.
It's just one I wish more people would throw their energy into. I think
it's very, very difficult, though. It is, and it's very difficult to start. It's very difficult to maintain it. It's very just because not every day do you wake up going, "Oh my God, I love me. I love everything about me." So, but
you don't wake up like that every day.
No.
I wake up thinking that about you every day.
Oh my God, I love you.
I'm like, I love Katie Fox every day. I can't wait. I'm gonna walk to work. I'm gonna see that smiling face and how cute she looks in her workout clothes.
I love me. I just don't like anything about me. It's
normal. I think you'd be a robot if you liked everything about you.
Yeah.
But so I wanted to get to like the reason we're here. We're like 30 minutes into this now, so we'll finally get to what we're here for.
Yeah.
But because you have had great results since you joined the gym, you should definitely like your body because look at what you've done.
I have done so much with my body. I'm very proud of.
But so what we were talking about was how you'll sometimes get introduced to new people.
Yes.
Of like, this is Katie, she's lost 65 pounds.
Yes.
And your immediate reaction to be like, wait, let me tell you all the work you have to do to lose 65 pounds.
Yes, I do feel like it cheapens it like a little bit.
Can we make a little booklet?
Yes, please.
This
is here. I'll just give it to new people that I meet. Like,
yeah. I don't have time to tell you all this, so here.
So actually, like, that was something that I started doing too. Like when people saw me after losing, a significant amount of weight, I would get, oh my God, you look so great. And when I first started that, it would be thank you, like, okay. And so that was like, to me, an acknowledgement, but I also felt like it cheapened it it felt like, well, okay, like, yeah, I look, but do I look strong? Do I look like I eat well? Do I look, so then I started,
do I look like I eat well?
Yeah.
What does that even mean?
I don't know, but like, like the all the things behind it, it was like, you look great, but like, it was so surface to me. Like,
see,
and I
initial
know
one,
everybody meant well.
right? But my initial one, somebody said, "Oh, you look great. Have you lost weight?" I'm like, "Why? Do you think I look like crap before?"
Exactly. Well, yeah, I'll do that with people I'm really close to, but then, so I started reframing it, and I would say, thank you, I worked really hard.
Okay, I like that.
That was how I responded to it after a while, because I did.
Yeah.
Like, I worked really hard, like, and I didn't want it to just be about how I looked. Like, yes, that was like great, and I appreciate people's acknowledgement, and
that makes sense. Like, if you're familiar with the concept of like growth versus fixed mindset,
yeah,
it's like how you look is just a fact of existence,
Mhm.
and really has nothing to do with anything you've done or accomplished.
No.
It's just how you look.
And so, it
So-
really started feeling like shit. Like, oh, great. Like,
Right.
Did you not notice me as a human being before now? Like, so when I was at my heaviest, did I not look great then? Like,
I think you were still pretty cute then.
like, you know what I mean? Like,
I've got pictures.
Thank you. but it does.
Yeah.
It just like, the whole thing felt like a very like shallow kind of compliment.
But so you're acknowledging their compliment and their effort to be nice to you.
Yes.
And you're also going a little further to say, like, I worked hard for it. So you're reinforcing that what's important to you and where the actual compliment lies is in the work that you've accomplished,
Yeah.
versus just the fact that you're naturally stunning looking. Because you didn't do any work to
But
get...
I also want to like let people know that there's a certain amount of like vulnerability to it. Like,
Yes.
like it's almost like feeling like exposed, because when like, yes, I lost 65 pounds, and that's amazing. But like, I felt like people only saw that.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't see anything about me. Like, people didn't. It was just that. Like,
oh, you want people to be deep, Katie.
No, I just wanted people to like recognize me as a human being and not just somebody that was like a skin bag. like that's
You ever watch the show Supernatural?
No.
Okay, so right, the demons and angels and stuff can possess people.
Oh, nice.
They call them meat sacks.
Oh, I like
so
that.
you are now a meat sack.
All right, yeah, that's pretty much how. Yeah, that's how I felt. But yeah, no, the biggest, I think, like, I mean, we kind of like went over some of the stuff that I feel about this, but I lost, 65 pounds, and it took an entire year, which to me is a short amount of time. Looking back on that year, 65 pounds is a lot to lose in a year. But I also changed so much.
Right.
So much of my life.
And I know this is what you said you want people starting out to understand. It's like, you didn't just show up and start doing a couple workouts a week and think, oh, everything's going to be better now.
No. Because I was ready to. That was a big thing. Of all the times that I tried before, I was ready to be a better me. I was getting, I'm not going to get any younger by any stretch. I'm not, like, time was passing by and I felt like I was wasting it.
Yeah, that's one thing that I try to focus on sometimes. It's like, you're like, oh, that's going to take so long. It's like, dude, that time is going to pass anyway. Where do you want to be when it's passed?
Exactly. But yeah, I mean, and like, I will say, one of my biggest things that I could tell anybody ever is that weight loss begins in the kitchen. And that is, I think, what a lot of people are missing. Like, because that was where I was missing for 12 years prior to, me starting here. But I didn't know anything about it. I knew nothing about how to eat. Like, I didn't know about macros. I didn't know about nutrients in general. I just I mean, like, we all like have this, without the knowledge behind it, we all have this idea of like, this is good eating. Right. Is it? Like, is that good eating? Like,
well, and that's One thing that's really common to hear from people will be like, well, I ate healthy all day and then I lost it at dinner and ate such and such and such.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, if the way you were eating all day put you in the position where you couldn't control yourself at dinner, that wasn't actually healthy. But
No.
they're like, it was lettuce, so it was healthy, right?
You're like, no, not necessarily.
Not if it was just lettuce.
Yeah.
So.
But that's it's so much, and what I learned came from having strategy sessions.
Yes.
I went to all kinds of nutrition programs, like everything. I tried to do everything that was offered. I was on every one of the calls. I did the PN coaching for the year. I have tried to absorb as much as possible.
Do you have an idea why most people shy away from that sort of thing?
It's so intimidating. It is.
It's intimidating?
I think it is. Because I think that it seems like dread. Like there's dread about it. Oh my God, I'm never going to be able to eat anything delicious ever again. I think because that's where everybody's mindset goes to.
Right.
And I think it's hard when I first started out, I was like, I immediately started to do that. I immediately started to do that. Oh, I can't eat this. I can't eat this ever again. Well, yes, I can.
Yeah.
Yes, I can. But it took having those conversations about it. It took tweaking so much all the time. And it also took knowing my body and what my body needed.
Right.
And I'm still working on that. I'm still doing
That's one of the harder things because I think people are like, what's the nutrition trick? Just tell me. And it's like, well, it's different for, it really is different for everyone.
Well, that's the thing. There's no trick. It's not a trick. It's so specialized to each individual person. I know that, I had my gallbladder removed. So that is a huge factor on a lot of things that I eat. There are certain things that other people eat no problem that I can't eat. I cannot eat iceberg lettuce, right? That's a healthy food-ish. It's a nothing food.
I don't eat iceberg lettuce. I like my lettuce to have a little more something.
Anything besides water.
Yeah.
So it's just knowing exactly what your body, trial and error. You eat this food and you feel like garbage afterwards, guess what? You should probably not eat that food.
Right.
Or eat it way less than you do. Simple things. I know that I have, eat a lot of onion. My stomach hurts. It hurts. Cramping, So, it's just knowing and keeping track of it.
Right.
That's the biggest thing. I actually was going to look before I came in. I didn't to see what my streak on MyFitnessPal is, but it was almost 900 days.
Oh my gosh! When I was talking to Holly, she all of a sudden realized, she's like, I didn't log my food yesterday. She busted a streak. She was very upset.
Yeah, I think now I want to look at it, but I think it was 900 days. It was close, anyways.
Yeah, but so
903.
I feel like because nutrition is individual, I'm it's not that hard. It's it's complicated.
Mm-hmm.
But it's actually you can make it simple.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't seem to want to make it simple.
No, they don't. No.
But I think that's because of those fears you were talking about. So they complicate things because they're trying to figure out how they can get around doing avoid doing things they don't want to do or giving up things or.
And I was I want to that's why I keep posting or vlogging my food. It's all on there. Anybody wants to be friends with me, look at it. And I will promise you, not everything that I log looks great.
Yeah.
There are days when I'm like, what the hell were you thinking? Whoa, that was a lot. They're not great days. But overall, I think logging that food helps with consistency.
Yeah.
So
that's one thing I noticed. If I stop logging, it's portion sizes are going to start creeping, or a lot more just a little of this or a little of this and a little of that.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah,
it does.
Pile up if you're not paying attention. But you said you also started going for walks and stuff, right?
Oh, I did. Yeah, that was again, we didn't really have much to do during COVID, so that helped.
Sure.
me and the kids would take the dog for a walk every day. And we change it up all the time, like the different walks that we take. But now it's kind of great and annoying. Now we can't miss a day.
No.
Oh no,
because the dog is accustomed.
She's going to be real mad. She's going to be real mad. So now it's just part of our day, just part of our routine. And I'm not saying I go every day, like somebody does, but that means somebody on my family is taking a walk. You know,
that's good.
I shoot for 5 days a week on my walks. You know, given the week, I hit it, I don't hit it, you know, but I come close, and that's like my goal for the week. But I think that has made a huge difference in how I feel.
Okay.
And I think my mobility is better because of it too.
Yeah, so one thing that's actually really interesting I was reading about this week is in this day and age, we have a tendency to go we have two positions. We are either sitting or we are exercising in specific, like mechanically sound ways.
Yeah.
Right? So like you're squatting in here, you've got your feet planted, you're doing it this way. What we actually need more of in our life is walking, like playing, playing with your dog, or we need to be in different positions more. So I think it does help you feel better.
Oh my God,
I think there's science behind that, and it puts you in different
positions. And also,
positions.
it helps me keep myself accountable in a routine too. Like I do thrive better on routine, so that might make a difference for other people that don't. But I know what my week looks like. I'm a planner.
Okay.
I schedule things out. I could show you my calendar. It's ridiculous. I'm not joking when I say I have things like shower on there. But so it just keeps me, like me planning all this stuff out, me knowing what my week looks like. And I'm not saying that it goes perfect every week. It doesn't. Like I have a lot that, has to change or I have to tweak it or some days it's just like, wow, today was a shit show. Nothing got done. I'm not in no way perfect. It's not a perfect system, but that's what I hold myself accountable to.
Okay. I like it. It's funny. I tried a couple of years ago to do time blocking.
Yeah.
And it was a complete mess and it did not work. But I read something recently that made it a little easier for me. And so I have like a basic structure.
Yeah.
But what I do inside the time blocks are a little more fluid.
Yes.
And that was very helpful.
Oh, yeah.
But because I read a book called Indistractable. And it's about how to get rid of distractions from your life.
Yeah. So
he talks about time blocking, but then also marking out, like, if you didn't get done what you were trying to get done, write down why. Because this was great to me, because he's like, we'll say like, oh, I spent too much time on my phone, or I do this, or I do that. And he's like, if you get all of your stuff done, I don't actually care. If you spending time on your phone is not a distraction to your life.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's amazing. So I'll do that now. I'll time block. And if something doesn't get done, I'll look at that time and it's like, what happened? And sometimes it's like, oh, the internet went out, or...
Well, yeah, it's like beyond your control kind of thing.
Yeah. Or, at the gym sometimes it's like somebody needs something and I have to be part of the decision-making process, and that pushes back other things that I'm trying to work on.
Yeah.
So...
and that's I don't follow it strictly.
Yeah.
But it's there. I know what I need to get done.
There's never a day where I get to the end and I'm like, well, I didn't accomplish what I was doing because I spent too much time playing games on my phone.
Right. Yeah.
So now I feel better about when I play games on my phone.
Yes. It's perfect.
But I think you being a planner helps. And I think we are in such a busy, 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 go, go, go world that people feel overwhelmed by the perception of how much they need to be working out or how much time they have to spend on meal planning. And one thing I want to ask you is did you start everything immediately? From week one, were you doing all this stuff right away?
No. The workouts are easy for me. Like the workouts, I know, like I do 5 days a week. It's a lot, and I know that. I know I don't need to, but for me, it's my get up and go and my break up of my day too.
As long as your body's still functioning properly,
yeah.
Then
I also roll. I roll every day before class starts, every single day.
And these are things that a lot of people skip.
Oh my gosh, I think it's so important. So important. Also, rollers are like $15 on Amazon. Just get one for your house. But no, I like the workouts. To me, like that's the easiest part. Like because I can schedule that. You know, like I can schedule that. That's on my calendar. That's not something that I do. But the meal planning and prepping that I do every week, no. Like I didn't have the tools. I didn't have the knowledge or the tools to be able to like handle any of that. But one thing that I will say, I love like there's so many people that will post like these like super elaborate, like beautiful like meal preps, and that's so wonderful. I don't do that. Like it, not just the posting, but like I don't meal prep that way.
And see, I want people to post their ugly, non-elaborate meal prep because you get people so intimidated by the pretty ones.
It's so intimidating.
I want to see the ugly
cook.
ones.
Like I think that's really like I cook, right? But like I don't cook. Mm-hmm. I'm not like this very elaborate cook in general, you know. So like that's so much. Like, and occasionally I'll make something special, but the one thing that, and this might not work for everybody, but it works for me, but like the one thing that I always do is that I always have shredded chicken.
Yeah.
I crock pot chicken with just like I spray with olive oil spray, salt and pepper, and I always have shredded chicken. Like literally just had it for lunch before I came here.
You can do all sorts of stuff with it.
Yes, I can do everything with it. Like I can have it on salads. I can have it like I just ate a chickpea pasta. Like that was delicious, you know, on that. Like it's so easy. It's right there. A lot of times I just eat it like sauce on it. Like I do Greek yogurt and like a verde sauce, you know. Yum. But like it doesn't need to be intimidating. Like it can be so simple. Like again, crock pot some chicken.
And I was just talking to someone who was like, cooking for some other people right now, and she's like, "Well, they're vegetarians, and a lot of the meals for that are carbs."
Yeah.
And she's like, I was like, "Eat some, get your protein in." I was like, "Find what protein you're going to have while this meal's happening, right? And then I want you to eat as much of that other stuff as you need to go with your protein, as long as you get your protein in." And it's just like total like stress relief of thinking like, oh, this doesn't have to be that hard. I can have these things as long as I make sure to get my protein in.
And actually, I know because I know a question's coming up that actually like
what question's coming up? I'm totally out of order.
The holiday and like the outings and stuff question, because that's like you saying that like get your protein in first. Like that's kind of my strategy.
Yeah.
When I'm out at like parties or there's a holiday coming up and I'm at somebody's house, like it's protein first. I will load up on protein first. And then I can have other stuff. I don't have like huge portions of it, but I have other stuff. But I have my protein in, so more than likely by the time I get to like, oh no, wait, I'm full.
And that's I think where sometimes people don't understand the point of the protein.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's like it's going to help fill you up. It's also like it's where your muscle building comes from.
Yep.
So probably the reason that you don't feel like shit physically for working out 5 days a week is because you're eating enough protein for your body to replenish and restore
and I'm not always perfect on that either.
But nobody's perfect, Katie.
But that's my holiday strategy, especially.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Like outing strategy.
Well, no, I think what I had written down was because you're always doing virtual boot camps on vacation, and I love it.
Yes, I do that. I have a very active mother-in-law.
Okay. I meant to do that on vacation, and not a single one.
So it's fun. She's fun. And she's incredible because she is 70. She'll be 71 on the 8th. And we go on these vacations, and like the first 2020, we'd been doing the virtuals until we're stuck in this house, like and she's I'm like, do you want to try it with me? And she's like, yeah, I mean, I could. And she works out arguably too much. She takes like 9 classes a week.
Oof.
Yeah, she's very active, very active. So she started doing them with me in 2020. And at times, this year went really, really smooth. Times last year it was a little challenging to kind of get her motivated to do them. And I found myself getting frustrated. And then I'm like, okay, calm down, bring it back, reel it in. We're still going to do them. It's her time frame, maybe instead of mine, but we're still,
Okay.
But yeah, to me, it was just because we're not doing a whole lot otherwise. So like, I'm missing so much of my routine. So I'm missing coming into the gym. I'm missing going on walks, and like occasionally we walk down the beach. But like, really, what are we doing? We're eating and we're sitting on a beach reading. Like that's essentially what my vacations are. It's more relaxing. So that was like my time to like get up, start moving, and then I didn't feel as like lethargic the rest of the day.
Okay.
So that helps.
So it made your vacation better. It made you feel better.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I loved it.
And that's a good connection, because I know people will think, well, I'm on vacation, I don't want to do this, but you have a point to it. It makes you feel better. It gives you more energy to enjoy your vacation.
Yeah, and then I don't like it's like also like a guilt thing too. Like I'm still.
We don't need any guilt here.
But I'm still doing all the other things. Why can't I do that too?
Yeah.
Kind of thing. That's like, to me personally. I'm not saying it works for everybody, but like to me, I'm like, I'm still doing, like, I'm still trying to eat as good as I can. I'm still getting up with kids and doing all like the normal stuff. Otherwise, like, this is, not that long out of my day to do.
Yeah.
And my mother-in-law wants to do it with me, so we're bonding. And it's kind of fun, and we have fun with it.
You have such a positive attitude. You really do, because like, it's not that long out of my day. Like, so many people in this day and age, like, oh God, it takes so long. I have to go do this, and I have to go do this, and then I'm supposed to try and get this, and like, you know what I mean? Like,
and I
culturally
totally understand that busy life. I can totally understand it. But this is again going like full circle. This is me circling back to, this is not about anybody else and what everybody else wants to do. This is about my time. This is what I want to do. This is my selfish time for the week. Like, speaking of vacation, but like it doesn't change. Go like, I'm home. This is what I do. I can still carve out that time during my vacation. Like, it's something that's important to me. It always has been. Like, so why change it on vacation?
No, I like it.
Yeah.
So what I see just from hearing you describe like how you've started or how your journey has progressed, that like for new people starting out, like, it's a reminder of you don't have to do everything at once, right?
No,
of like building and building.
No, I think my advice on that would be, I think if you do try to do all of that at once, you will be sorely disappointed and overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Because I think it's too much. It's too much. I think you add one thing at a time, and I think that's what makes this sustainable. That you get used to like this part of it, like get used to this, and then move on, and this next thing, I'm gonna get used to this thing on top of this thing. Like, you can't add all of it at once, because it is maddening.
Yeah, because now, did you have the instinct to? Because obviously a lot of people, that's the instinct, right?
Yes.
I want to lose X amount of weight, so I'm going to do this, this, and this. How did you kind of fight through that or get past it?
Oh, I couldn't do it. So when I started, I was like, I'm only eating 1,200 calories. I don't care what anybody says. That's what I'm going to eat, because that's what, that's what you hear. That's what you hear. You lose weight if you eat 1,200 calories. So I did. I felt awful. I didn't have a choice. Like, my body was like, listen, girlfriend. Like, no, like there would be a point in the day when I would feel physically ill. Like so much fatigue, nausea, headache. Like, I was not eating enough. And it was so stressful. like, because I'm like, well, I have to do this. I have to do this.
Mm-hmm.
So it was actually like me figuring that out, why I was feeling like garbage.
Okay.
And then going, wait a minute, and gaining more knowledge on it. And I think understanding like what I needed to do was the biggest part of it for me.
Were you afraid to eat more? Like from a I want results point of view, or were you so miserable that you were like, screw it?
I couldn't not eat.
Yeah,
I couldn't not eat. I think it's totally. I mean, maybe some people can live like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I couldn't.
So can I ask what kind of calories you were eating while losing weight?
Let's see. Well, I'm still like, I'm in this like, I vary between like 17 and 2000.
Okay.
And that's pretty much been, I don't know, I want to say it's been like a year and a half since I've been on that.
So my quest in life is to find everyone that's lost weight and ask them how many calories they actually eat, because it's never what people think that they need to eat. You know, there's such that stupid 1,200 that it's
like such an awful number. Like that it's awful.
So it's based on nutrient deficiencies, essentially.
Yeah.
So eating less than 1,200 would be considered a deficient diet, where you would not be eating enough for your body to stay existing.
Yeah.
Right? And that's assuming, so that doesn't count any of the stuff you do. That's just That's just living.
Yeah.
That's just waking up, lying on a couch, and going back to sleep.
Yeah.
1,200 calories
is
how much you need to not be nutriently deficient in that lifestyle.
Yeah.
And somehow that became the ideal number that everyone should eat to lose weight.
I do not know how anybody can sustain a lifestyle on that. Like it's gross.
Yeah.
It does not feel good. So no, I eat. Yeah. But I've also never been one of those girls that's been like, oh, I forgot to eat today. Like,
no.
Food is life for me. Like I love food. Like I like to make it fun. Like I grow food now. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So I don't want food to be this like
right
whole thing. It's sad.
That's something that I've been working on, because throughout, like, every time I've lost or gained weight, there's been so much like stress around food that like I don't know if I've ever actually enjoyed it.
Yeah. See, like, you should be able to. Like that's the part that's like so hard to like. It's hard to manage, because I think we all see ourselves like, if you eat this, you're this isn't good food. Like I know that, and in my head, this isn't good food. I shouldn't eat this. I'm bad if I eat this food. And it's like, no, you're not. No, you're not.
Right.
You eat the damn food. You enjoy the damn food.
Yes. There's the food is fuel group, which I was obsessed with that idea for a while. But it's food is fuel, food is fun, food is many different things.
Food is fuel, but it's also a lot of other things too. It can be delicious.
And this is where it starts getting confusing for people, and they just want to cry. It's like, wait, what do you mean? I can eat that, or I can have more calories, or sometimes I can have this, or sometimes... I tried to explain to my husband when we first started dating, well, I usually eat this, but sometimes I'll have this, and if I'm feeling a certain way, then then I'll have this. And sometimes when we go to the bar, I'm only going to eat a salad, but other nights I'm going to have decided I'm having a burger.
Yeah.
And he's like, what?
Because it's it's a never-ending tweaking process.
Yes.
It's never like you could eat the same thing every day in that calorie range, and I think you still gain weight. You know what I mean? Or lose weight. Or like it wouldn't it's never going to be the same. Like you're never going to find this one perfect diet and be like, oh, but that's it. That's what I'm going to eat for the rest of my life.
Right.
Because you can't. That's ridiculous. Like I am constantly tweaking what I'm eating.
But I see you keep saying the word tweak, and it's so important, because I think people make huge changes and then try to stick to them, and it's hard because it's a huge change.
Yeah.
And you're just little tweak. I always talk about nutrition as being an evolution.
Yes.
Because like I'll talk about the last time that I started losing weight, just my breakfast.
Yeah.
I was eating bagels covered in melted cheese for breakfast every morning.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
So I started doing Weight Watchers again, and the first thing I did was I just logged the points.
Yeah.
And then the next week I started actually measuring the cheese so that I was being more accurate with what I was logging. Yeah. And then I started decreasing the serving size of the cheese. And then I switched the bagel to an English muffin. And then I added an egg to get some more protein in. And then I added some spinach to my English muffin egg sandwich to get some vegetable. Right? So it was this evolution. And that was over months.
Yes.
And like...
Because it's overwhelming.
Right.
If you would have gone from the bagel with cheese all the way down, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like that, it wouldn't have worked. Like you wouldn't have cared, and you would have gotten very upset about it.
So do you think people are like afraid that like they don't know enough to make that sort of decision and changes?
Yes.
Because there's so much of this like just tell me what to do, or like I have to know exactly how to go from here to here.
Yeah. I think,
And you and I are both talking about like tweaks and little changes and things that we kind of did organically, or you have to
still
have some sort of,
you know what I mean? Like I'm still doing that.
You have to have some sort of confidence in yourself, right? Like you can't go to a nutrition coach every time you make those, right?
No. And you learn from it too. Like you're gonna like learn the foods that work for you.
Right. You learn from doing the work.
Yes.
As much as I like books and knowledge and reading stuff.
Yeah.
This is a situation where like you can't just like, I don't know enough, I need to know all the things. Like you have to start with the doing, learn from the doing, and make changes as you go.
Because it's not a one size fits all when it comes to it. Some things that I eat, somebody else wouldn't. Some things, and like we still all share recipes and stuff like that.
Right.
But like, not everybody's gonna like the foods that I eat. You know, not everybody's gonna. The things that I do aren't gonna work for everybody. You know.
Well, like I'll do things that sometimes people might think are weird. Friday night, I think Mike and I screwed up and didn't have dinner planned out.
Yeah.
And I needed more protein. I had soup, and I fried 2 eggs and put them in the soup.
Why not?
It was great.
It's like a pho kind of thing.
Yeah. I thought that the yolks like kind of added some richness and thickness to the broth, and little bites of egg. Yeah, it was great, and I got extra protein.
That's perfect.
And that's not something I can really teach. That's something.
But that's like, again, with the shredded chicken today for lunch. Like I wanted pasta, something wicked. Like I just had a craving for it. I had bought myself some chickpea pasta. Like, okay, that's more protein in there. Mm-hmm. So made that choice. But then I just threw the rest of the, like, literally, I was like, oh, all right, so that's about 5 ounces of that. And, like, I measured that out, put it on there.
Yeah.
Done deal.
If I had your shredded chicken, I would have put extra chicken in my soup.
That's what I'm saying. Everybody needs a crumb of the chicken. Besides vegetarians, I understand. But, no, that's, like, it's, like, I for me, in my mind, I'm like, it's the, like, dummied down version.
Yeah.
Because, oh, my God.
I dummy down all the time. Just part of it, like, the pain levels that I've been dealing with lately, the whole back thing, I don't know how much you know about it. But anyway, 2 years of chronic back pain. So things like cooking and even grocery shopping are painful.
Ugh.
So the prepared food section of Market District is my best friend.
They've got shredded chicken?
I'll look next time I go.
They do.
I'm sure they do.
It's like in the...
It's probably with... Yeah. So I've been getting... I got this giant salad, and it had cheese and berries and even little candied walnuts. Because guess what? You can have a couple candied walnuts. It's fine. You just don't want like a whole cup of them.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh man, that's $10, right? So people get stressed out about, well, you know what? That thing lasts like 3 or 4 meals.
Yeah.
So okay, I will take my $10 chicken.
Yeah.
Add or my $10 salad. Add some,
if like. I'm sure meal prepping in general intimidates people. So, like, that's meal prepping.
Yes.
Like, the other thing that I want to add to the whole meal prepping thing is planning. And that is a bigger deal for me than prepping. Like, I only plan out dinners. Like, so I prep for my lunches. And usually, again, I shredded chicken is
Yeah.
like occasionally I throw in like I really like making that egg roll in a bowl, but
I love egg roll in a bowl, but I eat it so fast.
Oh, I portion it out quickly and don't touch it
We
again.
make it with shrimp, so then it's really only like a couple hundred calories.
So good.
And then I'm like,
that sounds so good. But yeah, so I meal prep or meal plan dinners. Like I bought this sheet on Amazon, and it's Monday through Sunday. Monday through Sunday, and I sit down every Sunday and I write out my list for the week. Because the other thing that helps too is my shopping. So I'm spending less at the grocery store.
Okay.
Because I'm not mindlessly buying stuff.
So I've started doing my planning. I guess it would be a little backwards, but because of the pain issues, my husband does most of the shopping. So what I have to do is look at what we have and plan from there to make sure it gets used. Because a lot of times my husband will just like randomly buy stuff at the store. And then it's like, well, what night are we going to eat this? You're going to be
fitting you this.
Yeah. So I will try, if I know he's going to be gone a lot, to make sure that he doesn't overbuy because he doesn't think about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so last week actually, this was funny. He started cooking proteins while he was making breakfast. This is his routine in the morning. He comes to the gym at 6:15. He goes home and he makes breakfast and gets ready and goes to work.
Yeah.
So he was going to be gone like every single night. And he knows that I have trouble if it's a cooking, if it's going to take a while because he can't stand up, whatever. So he was making proteins while he was making breakfast. Do you know how much time that saves?
Yeah.
Because he's already in the kitchen. So he's like throwing
so
chicken.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's throwing chicken in the oven while he's making breakfast and everything. And
I do a lot of that too, like the double duty kind of cooking.
Yeah.
Like because again, I'm not like, cooking's not like a really good time for me.
Right.
So that's like, I'm like, well, if I'm already cooking, well, okay, I can cook myself stuff for tomorrow or the next day or whatever. Like, so I like that. That's really smart.
But so that like was great for me because instead of having to deal with, okay, Mike's not home. How do I feel? Do I have the energy to cook this thing? I got dinner.
You already got it done. Yeah. It's so awesome.
So planning.
Yes.
In different phases, depending on your life and how it functions. I know a lot of people do all their planning and then they go grocery shopping. For me right now, go get the food, and then I'm gonna plan. We're gonna plan when we're gonna use it.
Love that. Yeah. Because you might have a craving for something too.
Right.
Like he's going and he has a craving. He's gonna pick up the food that he wants. You just gotta fit it into the week, and I like that.
Because how many people do all of this work and then never eat it?
Oh yeah.
So.
See, that's why I like planning and then buying, because I don't buy.
And I also
I don't have other options for food.
Right. Well, no, they go like this is one problem, and I will tell people all the time, you are not buying yourself the right foods then. They think I have to eat a certain way to be healthy, so they plan and buy and prep foods that they consider healthy.
Yeah.
And then they go to go to the drive-thru.
Yeah.
Because they bought a bunch of stuff they don't want to eat.
Yeah. So I'm like, nope, that's what you're eating because you love that and it's delicious.
Yes.
And you're going to eat it anyways.
And so that's where it's like some of this stuff, you really got to look at you, who you are, what do you like, what are you willing to do, and how can you fit.
Yes.
Like the simple stuff is eat your protein and veggies. The hard part is learning what's a protein, how much should I eat.
Exactly.
And then making it fit your life.
Yeah. Overall, the consistency is the thing. Like, if you can find like a way to, when you start adding these things in small things slowly, and then just make it part of your life.
So you're answering my next question.
Yeah.
Which is, what would you tell people getting started?
Yeah.
And you're just,
oh, sorry.
No. I was just going to ask you that to start with.
But I would say, add small things in slowly, and then from there, like, ask yourself your why, and fight for it. Fight for you.
What would you tell people who are working really hard and getting more misery than results?
You're working too hard. It's not complicated.
Yeah.
You want to do it for you, right? So I think that if you hit a level of misery from it, all you're seeing is stress. And when you're in that level of stress, I don't think you're losing weight.
Right.
I honestly, like, and I'm not as knowledgeable as, a lot of other people, but
there's a lot to stress, this impact of stress on.
And I think that if you are hurting, like mentally from this or physically from this, you're doing too much.
Yeah.
And you're not taking care of you. And that's the point of this.
Right.
This is about taking care of yourself. The way you eat, the way you work out, the way you move. That's why I come in and roll every day. Because my muscles are so important to me because I want to keep doing this stuff. Like, I don't want to be out. Like, I don't, and like, I want to keep flexible. I want to keep moving. I want my walks to feel like, yeah, you can go longer. You know what I mean? Like, I want to keep doing these things because they're for me.
Right.
They're for my happiness. They're for me to feel good about me and like have a really good example for my kids. So yeah, don't do too much. Don't hurt yourself.
And I think, but we talked a lot about tweaking or making tweaks earlier. So like if you've got a program and you're thinking, this is what I have to do to get results, but it's making you miserable and you're not seeing results, you don't have to don't start with an huge overhaul. Because obviously there's probably something about it that you did like or, when you started it. So make tweaks.
Yes. And because again, I don't think I am a big believer in the whole you have to be willing to make a lifestyle change to get to do right by your health. But that lifestyle change, I think when people hear lifestyle change, it's like everything right now. Otherwise, you suck.
It's not
you don't suck.
The same lifestyle change, I guess, is for everyone. A lifestyle change doesn't mean you only eat chicken and broccoli and you never drink and you get 10 hours of sleep every night and
no,
it means you change what you need to change in your life to be able to get what you want and be happier.
Yeah, and we need to as people we need to keep growing too. And that's the thing. I didn't perfect this and
You're so cute. I love this girl. This is so cute.
I didn't perfect this and go, oh, I'm so good at this. Let me tell everybody what I did because it's gonna, no, I'm constantly I know things that today that I could be doing better. I could list 100 things today that I could be better at because we could always be better.
Right. You don't just settle in. Oh, this works, so I'm just gonna quit learning how to. Yeah.
No, you got to keep moving forward. Otherwise, you're just here.
Oh my God, I love my nerds. This is so enlightening, Katie.
Oh, thanks.
I learned so much about you.
I've learned about you too, though. I love this. This is fun, though.
It was fun. And we talked, I might cut some of it. It was very long.
It was very long. Yeah, I didn't expect it to be this long.
I told you, once you get started.
I know,
people walk in so nervous, and I'm like, look, we're just going to have a conversation, and you're going to be just fine. And
I'll be nervous once you post it. That's when I'll be
so I found out that, Tia is my biggest supporter. She's on these, Donkey Kong. Immediately watch them. Except for hers.
She didn't watch it?
Nope.
She won't?
She will not watch the one she was on.
She's cute.
So that's one thing I've noticed.
Poor T.
Love her. All right. So unless you have anything else.
I got nothing.
All right. I'm going to do what Josh told me to do and say thank you for joining me, Katie.
And thank you for having me. This was fun.
And then I'm going to awkwardly sign off because I haven't figured out how to not be awkward when ending these things yet.
Oh, I'm very awkward.
Excellent.
Life, so you do you.
Now I'm totally lost. Wait, yes, I thank you. And now I thank everyone for watching and listening. We will be back with another episode of Fit Life Journey soon, where I keep talking to people about their journeys and their own fitness and nutrition.